And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday the 13th. It is 8:03 p.m. and I'm here at my home in Midtown Toronto doing the first Friday Night Live from home of 2023. So I see a lot of people in the chat already. Marie Palmer, MJM, Sapan, Vivian, Jeanette, Whoosja, Harjot, Sheena, welcome to the stream. Mr. Hippo as well. Content deleted. Marge, Trevkev, Estelle, Midnight Express, CN Lish, hello. Neighbor, you must be close by. Harjot, Mike Smith, Vanless Dweller, Julie, Mauricio, Madeline, Manish Plays, Cody Shaw, Uncle Buck, Novell Koss. I see some new names. I hope you're all having a good Friday. Kind of snowy Friday here in Midtown. And let's see what the weather is currently doing. It is -5. So often on a Friday night, I would be out recording and I often try to do a live stream, but I did 2 videos earlier today, got that out of the way, and I've just been kind of hanging out at home, catching up on things, doing a bit of a backlog of work and stuff I have to do, and decided to stream from at home. And to enhance the stream a little bit, I'm going to have a Mill Street Cobblestone Organic Stout. This is exactly what it says it is, but it's only 4.2%, so that should be... Ooh, that almost exploded. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it almost went off. So cheers to everyone out there. I hope you're all having a great Friday. El Terrifico from Eglinton and Mount Pleasant. So if this is your first one of these streams, and we just keep it casual. I try to interact as much as possible and hang out with everyone. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves, of course. I will be playing 3 new videos that I haven't played before in the channel in the background while we do that, just so you have something to pay attention to other than my boring, stupid face. But let me take the weather off. Do I have anything new? Did anything happen? I didn't yet book my vacation, so that's still in limbo. I did book a reservation for a restaurant I haven't been to in like 6 or 7 years tomorrow night. So I'm quite excited to go there. It's been quite a while. I think you're all caught up. Trev Kev says, "Did you get your Apple Watch, Johnny? And do you prefer?" Yeah, I got an Apple Watch for a family member for Christmas, and I'm currently rocking a Fitbit. This is the Versa 4, and I just got this Velcro strap. Unfortunately, every time I order a Versa 4 compatible Velcro strap, they don't fit. I found this one on AliExpress, though, and it actually works. So, hey, we'll go with it. William says, "I like your face." Thanks. It's an odd compliment. One thing you'll notice on the channel. Oops. What did I just pull up there? I have no idea what I just pulled up. Never pull something up on clean YouTube. Removes all annoying comments from YouTube. I do not want that. Okay. Never pull something up on screen without knowing. And Half says, "What do you do for a living?" You're looking at it. I used to be a global programs underwriter in the insurance world. I changed my wallpaper. I had text that said my name on it and white text right across, but I took that off. So I don't know if you noticed or if you care, but that's pretty much all I have to report. And let's see, I put up a poll. Are you superstitious? Given that it's Friday the 13th, like black cats walking under a ladder, any of that stuff. 30% of you said yes. We'll get this up to 100 votes. 59% of you said no, and 11% voted for 7-Up. Interesting. I figured 7-Up might be a little high. Remember 7-Up? Remember when that used to be a thing? You would go somewhere and like they would probably have 7-Up or Sprite, and now you barely see that brand anymore. Devin says, "I like it better transparent like that." Yeah, I just like it's kind of the direction YouTube's moving in. A lot of channels are not being very descriptive with their channel art, so I just decided to plus it already says Johnny Strides here. It says at Johnny Strides here. I have Patreon and Instagram Johnny Strides. Why do I need it like one more time here, right? It's kind of like writing on your thumbnail the same text that's in your title. It's just kind of redundant. Velcos has tried 7-Up, but not worth voting for it. Midnight Express says we care. So did we get up to 100 votes? 28% superstitious, 61% no, 10% 7-Up. I'm going to end the poll. Thanks for voting. I am not superstitious at all. I don't believe in any of that gobbledygook, but 28% of you do. So I hope you have good luck today. So the first video I'm going to play was actually a video I recorded for the main channel as a regular video. It was not intended to just be a background video on one of these streams, but what happened was on my action camera, I actually didn't use the GoPro. I hate using the GoPro because that thing is buggy and it overheats. But on the DJI Action, which I mount to the windshield, I didn't enable stabilization. So every time like the car hit a little bump, the camera would jostle, and it kind of, I don't know, I didn't really like it. So I re-recorded that driving video. I took a different route. So this is the original video that never got uploaded to the channel. I still might put it on Stumbles or find something to do with it. Jeanette likes 7-Up too. 7-Up is what they would always put in when you'd go to Swiss Chalet and order a Shirley Temple because you wanted to feel like you're drinking an adult beverage. Clayton Crawford says, Johnny, why are you wearing such a heavy hoodie inside your apartment? Is the balcony door open? No, but it's very cold tonight. And I just turned my heat down quite a bit. And I like this hoodie. Josephine Halligan, 149. Thank you, Josephine Halligan. I believe all the way from Scotland with that. Thank you for the first super chat of the night. It is much appreciated. So let me get this first video. Why was your clip of the car parked on the sidewalk to use the bank machine taken down? Asks Bash Brannigan. Was it taken down? No, it's there on TikTok. It's got 178,000. It was taken down the first time. I think because I put like idiot parks car on sidewalk in the title, and apparently TikTok doesn't like it when you use language like that in the titles. They said I had abusive behavior in my video, so I'm assuming they just don't like that in the title. I don't know. I just re-uploaded it and then it did well abuse wise. Anyways, let's get this first driving video kicked off. Maybe I'll turn the sound up a little bit. Hey everyone, it is Sunday, January 8th. The time is 2:30 p.m. and the temperature outside is around -3 degrees Celsius. And I am here in what I think is a Hyundai Venue. And this is a car I rented from Avis. And there is an action cam I've mounted to the windshield. So for this one, and Blind Wheels 149. Thank you, Blind Wheels. I just didn't want to interrupt myself talking there. Thank you, Blind Wheels, for the support and the super chat. I'll be firing up the car, which I might. I'll lower the volume in a second. There we go. And I'll be going for a drive over to Liberty Village. And I think I will take the highway just because it's a bit more scenic and we get a cool view of the skyline. And I've got my bag with me. I actually just made my way over here from Niagara Falls. I had to drop something off in this neighborhood. So I'll be heading south down to Danforth Avenue, and I think I'll head over to Broadview and then up to Pottery Road, and I'll take that over to Bayview. And from there, I'll pop onto the Don Valley Parkway, and I'll take that to the Gardner Expressway. And then what's funny is I'm not wearing my headphones, so I can't even hear myself talk. But once the car gets moving, I'll turn the volume back down. We'll zoom on over to Liberty Village. So let's get this camera fired up. There we go. All right, let's get driving here. So this street. All right, and we're moving. I'll crank this down, and I'll throw some music on in the background. Where's my? There we go. This way you're not going to have to worry about me talking over myself. So two things I don't like about this video. One, I didn't enable the stabilization, and the other one, the horizon line is very low. It's like a third of the way up the screen. You really want it closer to around the 40% mark. Nabel says Wonderland is only open in the warmer months. Pricey, but very good if you get Fast Pass. Fast Pass to me, I like it, but I don't really like the sort of class implications. Like, I get priority over these other people who now have to wait longer. I don't really like that method of operations, but I mean, I still take advantage of it when I go to Cedar Fair Parks. Nasa Transit Kid says, Giant Strides, what does that beer taste like? It's a stout. So if you're familiar with Guinness, it's not quite like that. It's a little bit different, but it's still pretty good. Cheers, Brett Mallon. And yes, we are driving along Danforth Avenue. So the stabilization isn't really an issue right now. The video still turned out pretty good. And I'm going to go onto Pottery Road and head over to Bayview and then jump onto the highway. Mark says, is the Eglinton Crosstown open yet? Yeah, right. We are not going to see that open in 2023. I don't care what our dingus mayor says. It is not going to open this year. I would bet the farm on that. Anoff says, when's the next live? I don't know. Maybe tomorrow afternoon, if not probably Monday or Tuesday. I've actually caught up a little bit. I've got 4 videos in my back pocket right now. So I've got one for tomorrow that I recorded earlier today during a bit of a snowfall. And then I've got one from last night, another one from today, and another one from a few days ago. Just reading some of your messages. Chris Mills had a friend return from Disney World, said the lines and prices were nuts. I had a friend take his family to Disney World, and he spent like 20 grand for like 5 days just to get like the hotel and the passes to the parks. Like, that's obscene. I don't get it. Like, I will never go to Disney World again if just period. I'm not going to pay that kind of price. And why are you staying? I don't get it. Why he wanted to stay in a hotel on Disney World. Like, dude, stay off of the Disney World complex at another hotel. You can get a way better hotel for way cheaper. And then you can go to Universal. You can go to Busch Gardens. You just have so much more at your disposal. But yeah, the prices at Disney are out of control right now. Jennifer Gallus says, hi, I'm late. Hello. Mr. Ripple says everything is pricey these days. They certainly are. I'm looking at plane tickets right now. My plane ticket to Thailand was quite expensive, and they haven't really gone down. I was hoping that places would have gone down, or prices would have gone down by now, but not really. And I think now that China has reopened to travel, that has really killed all the really cheap hotel deals too, because there's not nearly as much vacancy in the hotels. So traveling just got very expensive. Lane says, did you ever visit Croc Rock? What was it like? I used to go to Croc Rock, I think on Thursdays after work, just for cheap beers. And then by the time it turned into a shit show at like 7 or 8 p.m., we usually would have been out of there. Farman says supposedly Monday flights are cheaper. Universal is building a new park in Texas. Awesome. Yes, there is a Dairy Queen up Broadview, right near Broadview and Pottery. And up says, do you use Aeroplan? I do. I use a TD Visa Aeroplan. And they are the ones who pay for the physical damage insurance on my rental car. No, I have not been attacked by any raccoons. Although I was watching a live stream on TikTok today, of all things, of someone who was recording deer in Park Lawn Cemetery, which was kind of neat. And Sheena, thank you for your super thanks. I got a notification from YouTube on that. Thank you for your support on that video. So this is going west on Danforth Avenue in the Plater Estates neighborhood. We just left Greektown, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to turn right at Broadview. Today I was taking the streetcar up Broadview, and there was like a billion people on the southeast corner because apparently there was an injury at track level today, and there was no streetcar or no subway service between Broadview and Victoria Park, which was more than mildly disruptive, you could say. There were a lot of very upset people. Novell Cost says engage warp 9.7. Whippy Dude would rather go somewhere on the ocean over Orlando. Connie says, sounds like I got a flu or the cold. I think I sound normal. Do I sound different? Who's just as any travel plans within the next few months, Johnny? Possibly multiple travel plans or none. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to have something booked and figured out this weekend. One might just be like going somewhere in the Caribbean for 5-6 days. Not really like a recording vacation, but I'm definitely looking forward to going away again like I did to Thailand. Hopefully Vietnam. How long have you been traveling? Any advice for first-time travelers? Never been out of the country. Thought broker. First-time traveling. You know, I never left Canada or the US until I was like 27, and I got in a plane and moved to Korea. First-time traveling, just go somewhere that you've always wanted to go to because you might never get another chance to go there. And if you go alone or if you go with a friend or two, try to go with like-minded people and be completely selfish. Do what you want to do. Indulge in what you want to indulge. I hate it when I go somewhere and you go somewhere that's touristy and you hear people shit talking. Don't go there. It's too touristy. It's like people are here for a reason. You know, like find out what you like and that'll shape your future travel plans, I think. But I can't really give specific advice because we're all so different. Cody Shaw is flying to Korea on Wednesday. What airline are you flying? La Quinta, 125 a night in Orlando, says the Hills on the move. That sounds like a good deal. Button Machine says traveling is the best. No worries, Thought Broker. What brought you to Korea? That was the first time I quit my insurance job and ran away to do something. The second time I quit it, I ended up doing YouTube full time. But really, I just wanted a 1-year break from office life. And I thought, this looks kind of easy and kind of fun. And I've always wanted to visit that part of the world. Mark says, I agree. A lot of the most touristy places are touristy for a good reason. Yeah, and it's also nice to stay somewhere convenient. Like where I stayed in Bangkok, Sukhumvit, a lot of people that are like Bangkok veterans will say, don't stay there, don't stay there. But it's easily the best, most convenient place to stay. So I'm going to keep staying there. And I don't care what their snobbish opinions say. Blind Wheel says, I've flown many times, but I've had several busted wheelchairs. So now you quit. It's a bus or train only. You know, that pisses me off to hear that. And I'm sorry, but someone's accessibility device is basically an extension of them. And they should be treated with the utmost care and respect. If an airline breaks a wheelchair, they better goddamn pay for you to get a brand new wheelchair when you're at the baggage claim looking for it, right? Like there's no, that to me is the same as like someone's pet. Like those two things, I think an airline should never, ever, ever get wrong or mess up. So sorry to hear that. Have you ever visited a country in Europe? I went to Amsterdam, actually, last year. That was my first time in Europe. QRTR says, did you enjoy your stay in the Philippines? I did. Probably like the least expensive vacation I've ever had in terms of a daily cost basis. Amazing food, amazing country. Palawan, Cebu, Boracay, just beautiful, beautiful places. Not so big on Manila. I don't know. Wasn't really a fan of Manila. But I'm glad I saw it. I got to tick that off my list. Blind Wheel says Air Canada is the worst. Not many good stories coming out of Air Canada. Although, I think their international side is much better than their domestic side. Because I've flown Air Canada internationally, and it's actually pretty decent in my experiences. If you flew again, you'd want to go to Japan. That's your absolute dream. I'm hoping to go to Japan this year as well. Possibly doing doubling up on Osaka and Tokyo and taking like a maglev between them. Something I've never done. I've been on high-speed rail in Taiwan. I've been on the high-speed rail in Korea, but I haven't done it in Japan. So I think that would be a lot of fun. Naval Cost says, John, would you ever go to China? Probably the world's most amazing country, but you might end up a Michael. Amazing in so many ways, except the government. So yeah, probably won't go there. But I've been to Taipei and the rest of Taiwan a few times, and I'm probably just going to leave it at that. Johnny, would you ever go to Mars? No, Clayton, I don't think I would. Not unless we work on that flight time. I don't want to spend 2 years going to a planet with nothing really to do. Yeah, Tokyo is unreal, but I think if you're going to Japan for the first time and you're worried about being overwhelmed, I think Osaka is just as good, if not a better choice. You have Kobe, you have Narita. Sorry, not Narita. You have Kobe, Nara, Kyoto, and Osaka. 4 cities for the price of one, all right there. And you still get that awesome environment. And it's a lot cheaper than Tokyo. Amoyo says, hey, Johnny, hello. Mr. Hippo says, hell no to China. I'm just reading some of your messages. Naval Cost wants to go to Xi'an. I don't know, where would I've been to the airport in Beijing, and I've been to Shanghai. Cian says, wise to escape the corporate world. Do you speak any Korean? Not very well. I used to be somewhat proficient at it, but I've just, maybe I should have dated a Korean for something. I've just had no reason to use it or brush up on it. And it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I've definitely lost it. And we are... Am I on the DVP yet? Where am I? I don't know. I think I'm on Bayview Avenue right now. Going south. Is this the on-ramp to get on the DVP? Yep, there it is. Just do it for fun on Duolingo. Do you buy your airplane tickets directly from the airline website? Almost always. Even if it's a little more, it's so much better if shit hits the fan and you're dealing with the airline. Plus, you tend to get like upgraded more doing that. Like if you're in economy, you might find yourself in premium economy. That's happened to me a bunch of times, especially on Cathay Pacific. But again, if there's any like wrinkles in travel, any flight delays or cancellations, you're dealing with the airline and not some booking agency. And they tend to take better care of you, in my experience, when you buy directly from the airline. So if it's like an extra 50 or $100, to me, that's money well spent just buying directly from the airline. All right, I've noted that channel, Blind Wheels. Naval Cost didn't know that. You've only ever used Expedia. Well, you've obviously never had anything go wrong. One day, finance bros will brag about going to the moon just for lunch. Well, hopefully, well, it sounds mean, but maybe there'll be some rocket malfunctions on the way. Connie learned Cantonese and Mandarin when you used to work in HK after your high school. That's formerly primarily Cantonese speaking, but these days I think they call it Mandarin washing that they're trying to do to Hong Kong now. Johnny, did you envision your channel becoming as successful as it has back when you first started? No, Arsenal. I wouldn't even call it that successful. I would call it sustainable, but it's certainly not like a huge channel or anything, but I'm still over the moon that I can do this on a daily basis. I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, if you're starting a YouTube channel, do not think you're going to live off of it. Do not think it's going to be your job. That's just delusional. Just like 1 in 1,000 works out like that. But maybe you'll get lucky, and you can always be hopeful and keep working to be as good as you can. I just got really lucky. I started doing this in the early days. These could all be water-powered cars. Water-powered? How do you do that? Blind Wheels likes to go to Pearson and watch the planes and love hearing the different languages of people. You can kind of do that at the Harbourfront in Toronto. You can watch the planes, although it's mostly the same plane model, come and go from the island airport, and you still get the awesome diversity of the city walking around you. Whippy Dude says, were you successful in getting demonetized on Stumbles for the F-bombs last Sunday? No! That stream is still monetized. I think I dropped like 30 F-bombs. And no, YouTube did not slap me on the wrist for it. Just reading some of your messages. Hydrogen cars and the byproduct of water. The button machine, I gave up on the YouTube dream pretty quickly. Edit a video for hours and get 2 views. That's what it's like at the start for most, though. I remember putting up videos that I worked my ass off and watching them have like 47 views after like a week. Like, you just got to ignore all that and keep going. Oil companies killed the inventor of water-powered cars, says content deleted. Sanjib says, I'm planning to go on vacation next year, maybe Las Vegas or Colorado. Those are very, very, very different options. Maybe geographically not far apart, but yeah, I absolutely love this view of the city skyline. And now that it's like, in this view, it's kind of shrouded in fog. I think it's like extra awesome right now. Ooh, I kind of wish I didn't screw this video up, because I think this is a pretty badass view we got right now. The machine says, I'll keep trying. Are you Toronto? Like the guy who was live streaming in Park Lawn today and you caught some deer? I was just on the subway and I got a notification that you were live. I don't even have notifications enabled on TikTok. And I'd like flip that on. I thought that was pretty cool. I wish I was there with a camera to see that. That was a pretty neat moment you had. Good on you for flipping on the live stream. Arsenal says, I know you've mentioned not wanting to go to Maui due to the cost, but I really think you owe it to yourself. It's truly beautiful. Yeah, probably, but I'm one of those people where if I'm spending too much money, I can't enjoy myself. I don't know. I just can't get it out of my head what a colossal amount of money I'm spending. I don't want to say I'm inherently cheap, but I think I am. I don't know. Some people are the opposite and they can just run up an unlimited credit card debt and spend and just enjoy. I'm the complete opposite. I enjoy something if I know this is well within my means and I don't have to think about it. But that's just kind of how I am. Fakey Fix says, hey Johnny and everyone, I knew this channel would be a success, at least in my house, was way back in 2020. The family that watches Johnny together stays together. Thank you, Fakey Fake. Bash Brannigan says, do you have any issues with Toronto's older buildings being knocked down for condos? Yes and no. Some of them yes, some of them no. But I talked about this in the video I recorded today. What I really wish they did was preserve the character of the retail. There's a stretch on Queen Street in Leslieville that was knocked down. New condo went up, and the retail is like a Starbucks, an AMW, an Osmos. Like, it's all just bland corporate bullshit. What I really think the city should do is make the developers pay to relocate the existing businesses somewhere else. Just the relocation costs, and then offer them first dibs on the units in the new building at something comparable to the rent that they were paying for a period of like 5 or 10 years. Just not to gut. Whoa, look at that asshole speeding and cutting across lanes of traffic. Just to not like destroy the character of the neighborhood. Like, if you look at what's happening on Yonge Street, it's very much the same story. So yeah, I'm not opposed to getting rid of old buildings. I don't, especially if they're not necessarily profound or special, but there is a smart way to do it and a shitty way to do it. And I think we do it the shitty way in the city, and we end up with bland, generic neighborhoods instead of keeping what makes places cool. Once Upon a City, next beer's on me. Cheers. Cheers to you, Once Upon a City. Thank you for the $5.
Next beer's on me.
Cheers. The Butt Machine says Doug Ford took away developer fees. And do you think that's going to have a positive impact on the prices of units or the quality of units? No. Just another smart thing that asshole has done. Lane says, Johnny, speaking of 2020, your videos actually got me through the strict lockdown we had in Spain. Couldn't even go out for a walk, so your videos were my daily entertainment. Thank you. Thank you, Lane, for your kind words and your support. Cheers to that. I don't know. I think it was the pandemic that really kind of kickstarted things on on this channel and a lot of other channels too in this genre. So as shitty as it was for all of us, it was kind of a good thing for me. You know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade sort of thing. Mr. Erbo says, in the rise of property taxes, that's why you live in a cave. I thought the fact that you were a hippo was why you lived in a cave. The hills are on the move, says, we've been traveling to stay at the Sheridan City Center since 95, impressed by the addition of residential property on Lakeshore. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat. And the drive along the highway and seeing all those condos is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, the quality of those condos, not so awesome. But yeah, more housing is good. I think it's ultimately a good thing. We just need better zoning and better design. Like, we could be so much better than what we're doing. It's kind of nuts. The button machine says, nope, it just means municipalities have to raise property taxes. Tory is proposing 7% for Toronto. In fairness to that, Toronto is kind of underpriced in terms of property taxes relative to other cities. 7%, though, for people that are dealing with monster rate increases in their mortgages, that's just going to be too much for a lot of property owners. And that's going to have the knee-jerk reaction of jacking people's rent up too, for all the landlords out there. So yeah, not good. And the big corporate landlords are going to play ball and use that as an excuse to raise their rent even more too. Fridge Guy says, so you don't do this full time? I do this full time, actually. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Greg says, I enjoy these get-togethers, a chill way to end a rough week. I do too. And for me, it's a little easier than being outside with a camera on a stick, walking around the cold weather. So it's kind of a nice change of pace. I think I do this every like 2 weeks or so. Nas says, want to go to Jane and Finch and make friends? Why not? I'm sure there's a lot of awesome people there. So this is King Street. So I think I'm going to turn left on King, and I'm going to ride this all the way up to where King ends. And then I'm going to turn right on Queen, and I'm going to go along Parkdale. So I think I was driving from East Danforth to Liberty Village, and the video went a little quicker than I wanted to. So I just made up this little bullshit loop to add some more time to it. Rodrigo says, we love the Friday night chats. Thank you. Scarborough RT station tours before demolition, asks Scar. Yeah, that's on the drawing board. I want to do a video where I walk through each station, actually. Always just one video, and I think that's very feasible. So that is definitely in the plans. So how bad was the video? The one where I swore a lot, Blind Wheels, it was just a normal Sunday night stumbles. I don't know about that. The Hills. Don't know about that at all. Hello, Eunice, all the way in Perry Sound. Fridge Guy says, how much do you make on YouTube? I don't know. I have no idea. I just know that I've been able to pay my rent for 3 years on it, and we're still going, but I'm going to have a bill coming in from the tax man very soon. Not looking forward to that. You're supposed to pay your taxes monthly when you're employed, like I am self-employed, but I don't. I just let it accumulate and then write one monster check at the end of the year. So not looking forward to it, but something glorious has just happened. Bitcoin and Ethereum have just skyrocketed over the last few days. So, yeah, it's not going to be such a bad tax season after all. Vivian Johnson says, thumbs up, please, for Johnny. Thanks. If done already. Thank you, Vivian. The Hills needs cigars from King and Bay. So I am zooming along. Wow, this looks faster than I'm actually going. I'm pretty sure I'm only going like 40 or 50 here. But it's probably the fact that the camera's not stabilized, making it look faster. All those little bumps. But this is about to turn right onto Queen Street. Can't go straight onto Roncesvalles still. Bridge Guy says, how much is Bitcoin now? It just cracked over 20K USD, I believe. Who's just says, yeah, I'm going to invest all my money in crypto now. That's probably a really stupid idea. Every time it jumps, The whales tend to dump it while everyone jumps on board buying it, and then you lose money and they make money. That's just the way it works. Thank you for the 200 yen, the 200 Japanese yen. Thank you very much for your support. You're welcome, William, but thank you. What do you think about the 10-cent increase in TTC fares? I think it's kind of bullshit. I'm more pissed off about the threats of cutting service down to every 6 minutes and as slow as every 10 minutes. That is a load of horse shit. But the extra, I don't know, transit is criminally underfunded, especially by the province. The city, I don't know. They just have their hands tied behind their back and they're trying to make it work, but it's obviously not working. Lisa says, how about the mayor's raise? I have not heard of that. Our telecom exec of a mayor got a raise. I'm out of the loop on that one. JR, $4.99. Thank you, JR. Cheers to you. Thank you. Thank you, JR. Naughty says we have to pay tax as you go. It's taken at the source. We do that with sales tax, but with like income tax. If you're employed, usually your employer will approximate the amount that you're going to owe based on your projected yearly salary and withdraw accordingly every month. But when you're self-employed, you have to do that yourself. And if you don't do that yourself, then at the end of the year, you have to pay a big ass lump amount, which is unfortunately what I'm going to do. But I'm going to start making monthly contributions starting this month for next year. Once Upon a City, $2 for a 10-cent increase. Thank you, Once Upon a City. Who's jaw? That sounds neat. Maybe I'll look that up. Yeah, he says blame the mayor for doing all these things. The mayor only has so much impact on it. But he's also got a drum to bang over these things. And he doesn't. And that's what pisses me off. He doesn't go to bat for what's in the best interests of the city and the people. He's what we like to call milquetoast. He's a glorified city administrator more than a mayor. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. JR says, thanks to the supporters of Johnny. Thank you to you. Clayton says, can you write off your TTC payment? I can, but writing stuff off doesn't make it free. It just makes it slightly less expensive. Connie says, Johnny, I don't believe Bitcoin either. By the way, Johnny, now I work for the bank you used to work for. Oh, you work for TD now? Thoughtbroker says, what time were you driving in the video? Is driving in Toronto as bad as I've heard? This is an afternoon, I think. This is, no, a Sunday morning is when this is. No, Sunday afternoon, actually. I think this is right after I came. I don't know. Yeah, I think Sunday afternoon. Traffic is quite terrible on the major arteries. The answer to that is don't drive. Don't drive into the city. Take transit. And let's have a government actually give us better infrastructure instead of what we have now. Devin says, yeah, it only writes off the tax on it. It doesn't reimburse you. Patrick, that is correct. Gordon says, why isn't there a movement to tax the rich more? Because there's this really stupid idea that if you don't tax the rich, that they will reinvest that money back into the economy. It's called trickle-down economics, and it's been proven wrong time and time again. At no point in history has it ever worked. Yet, we still work on that principle. Even in the U.S. they do as well, especially in the U.S. they do, and it's stupid. But yeah, I'm all for proportional taxing. I'm just reading some of the comments. Impressive. Glad I'm supporting your channel. Thank you, Patrick. Altruistically, I was not very happy at my last job, banging my head against the desk, dealing with like brokers and emails and all this. Like, I don't think people are meant to be sitting at a desk, at least not this person. So I'm glad that I'm not there and somebody else is who hopefully appreciates the job more than I did. Like, it wasn't a bad job at all, at least not from like a salary and benefit point of view. So I'm just hoping that whoever took my seat when I left is making good use of it. So it can be a win-win in that sense. Hopefully it's just not someone else doing what I'm doing, banging their head against the wall. Eunice, I have heard that. Thank you, Gertej. Mr. Hippo says office jobs is stressful. Novell says, aren't you sitting at a desk right now? I am, but I only do this when I want, a few hours a day. If I didn't want to do this now, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm just reading some of your messages. Lane says, is Mill Street your favorite Toronto beer? No. I like a few. I like Left Field Brewing. I like Radical. I don't know. I can't really pick any one particular brand out, but I bought this because I like stouts and these were on sale at the LCBO, so I picked them up. I'm not very brand loyal. Gordon says, all jobs do involve banging our heads on the wall at times. The Hills are on the move, $1.99. Thank you for your support and the super chat. Cheers. As Marcus says, he likes his PS5. So we are driving, I think I go to Atlantic Avenue and I turn south. Connie says, yes, office jobs are bad. I wish I would win the lottery so I don't have to work again. Some people are cut out for it, right? Some people really like it, and all the more power to those people. I'm just not one of them. Like, literally, when I'm working in an office doing stuff, my head is in the clouds all day. Like, it's just really hard to focus and concentrate on anything. And you're like, is there something wrong with me? Am I just like, am I an imposter? Am I just faking being here? And you realize other people are like that too, and it's not just you. And, you know, I was extremely fortunate to have an option to get out of it. 21st Century agrees with winning the lottery. Bash Brannigan. Yeah, open concept, I like it, but I don't like it. Like, you can't concentrate and get anything done. You certainly can't have conversations with people, but I mean, there's pluses to that as well. Landscaping is fun and clients can't sue you if you film everything. Yeah, I mean, you're outside, right? Like, if you like that kind of work, that's awesome. Joseph says imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people have that. I still kind of have that with YouTube. Like, I sit down, I watch other YouTube videos and I'm like, Jesus effing, you know, like, this is really good. I'm a YouTuber. I could never do that. My editing skills are horseshit. Like, we all have imposter syndrome sometimes, right? Eunice worked as a data analyst for years and can't confirm that it's soul sucking. That's a lot of jobs, I think. Arsenal, I watched the first season of Alice in Borderland. I haven't got around to watching the second season, but it is awesome. And I started my live stream about 10 minutes after this, when I started my driving live stream, if you remember that I did last Sunday. Just reading some of your more messages. Ali says, I think we all get bored. Julie says, I sit at a desk 11 hours a day, 4 days a week, attached to a computer and phone. At least I work from home, so nobody sees me bashing my head against the wall. That's how I discovered Action Kid, when I started working from home. I wanted something to put on my TV in the background that wasn't too distracting. And that's how I got into walking videos, actually. All right, let me show the wrap up of this video here. I'll shut up for a second. Johnny Strides, and I have a TikTok account at Johnny Strides. So I just have to figure something out here. There's something I need to drop off just around the corner. And I might come back and do a live stream. Flip the camera around. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink. All right. That's that video. Daniel says, you still have a massive TV? I don't consider it massive. It's 65 inches. I'm kind of eyeing like a 77-inch Sony OLED as my next TV. And yes, I only sit 6 feet from it. Village Hero says, is YouTube your only job? I think so. That I'm aware of. Joseph likes the cafe on the corner back there. Harjot got a haircut. All right. Let's move on to the next video. What is this? This one is okay. So if you watched this morning's video, yesterday morning's video, that was not supposed to be a video. That was I was just recording a bus ride for this stream tonight, And then when the bus got really slow to the point where we weren't moving anywhere, I kept the camera running and hopped out and turned that into a video. So this is the bus ride before that we are watching. So I'm getting on the bus here. Is this what I thought? I thought, yeah, we're at Eglinton Station. We're just pulling out Eglinton Station. So we're turning right here onto Duplex Avenue, and then we're going to turn left onto Eglinton. Devin says Johnny's going to burn out his retina sitting too close to his TV. I think 6.5 feet is like the optimal distance to sit from a big TV, actually. I'm not too worried about that. About cost. Doesn't want more than a 32-inch. Harjot says he has 264 views on his channel. Congrats on that, Harjot. Bash Brannigan watches me on a projector TV at 100 inches. That's awesome. What resolution is that? Because probably 1080 4K projectors are quite expensive. Not that you need anything more than 1080. But if you have if you can control the light in your room, a projector is an awesome way to go. Whippy Dude says, how's your eye floaters? Let's save that for Sunday night. Let's just say I'm looking at some like dancing worms and squiggly lines right now, which is pretty annoying. The resolution is called New Year's. Yeah, 1080p. Yeah, that's pretty standard for a projector. Daniel says you must have liked sitting at the front row in the cinema. No, I like sitting in kind of like the middle. So wherever my eyes put me at like the mid-level of the screen is where I like sitting. Definitely too close. Like when I sit 6 feet from my 65-inch TV, I don't have to like turn my head. Right? When you sit in the front row of the cinema, you're like doing this the whole time. So I think that's definitely too close. Jennifer Gala has an 8K QLED, which is really an LCD, by the way, with some clever marketing attached and some neat technology, and a 4K OLED. My videos look great on Go. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Gala. I'm hoping to upgrade to an OLED. Once Upon a City says, Johnny, have you thought of auctioning a walk with your viewers? No, I haven't. But if I did that, it would be for a charitable cause, not for a I want to make money cause. We'd find a good idea. Pete Northland says 77-inch TV. You could watch the guys across the street if it was that size. You would be surprised. When I walk Charlie the dog, his owners have a 77-inch OLED TV, and that couch is about 6.5, 7 feet. And it doesn't feel that big at all. You get really, really used to it. But you also get spoiled to when you go to a smaller TV. All of a sudden you're like, holy shit, this is small. Like, it's weird. Like, it makes my 65-inch feel tiny, which is kind of one of the reasons why I want to get one. Todd says, when was the last time you saw a movie in a theater? 2 days ago, actually. I saw the new Avatar in IMAX 3D. QRTR says, do you invest in crypto? No, but I have some from a long time ago, and I've ridden the roller coaster of crypto for quite a while, and I think I'm going to keep riding it until we either lose it all or I'm a millionaire. Probably lose it all. Do you think you'll ever get a VR cam, Espero? Probably not. Right now, I don't know. Ali BHG says, does Charlie react to TV? When he sees dogs, he does. For sure. Oh, I gotta pay attention to the to what's going on at CES. Action BJ has a 75, but should have bought an 85. That would not. I think OLEDs are only cut at 77, right? Maybe Samsung does 75s. Thought says Avatar was the first movie I saw in theaters 3 years ago. Awesome. Once Upon a City, $5. Cheers. Thank you, Once Upon a City. Thanks for your support and super chat. Good stuff. Thank you. And this is a view out of the south-facing window from the 32A bus. Peggy Pig says, what movie did you see? Avatar. It's 3D IMAX. Are buses always that loud, says Chris Mills? Unless they're electric buses, yeah. Is the bus volume too loud? Maybe I should move that down a bit. BHG remembers the two chatty guys in the back of the bus. I think the guys in front of me are a bit chatty as well. Yeah, let me turn this volume down a little more. It sounds a little bit loud. Marcus says not 3D. I saw the new Avatar in 3D IMAX. Did you always live in Toronto or did you move there for work? I grew up in the GTA, like Mississauga. I got my first job after university. It was in Etobicoke. I lived in Mississauga, and then I just moved downtown and then looked for a job more downtown. And other than moving to Korea, I've been in Toronto ever since. I think I was like 24, 25 ever since then. But certainly came to Toronto often as I was a Mississauga kid. Sorry if the bus noise. Is it still too loud right now, or is that okay? Hopefully I've turned it down a bit. Mr. Hippo hates when people talk this loud. Have you been to Brampton, the Ohio of the GTA? There's a video I did in Brampton last year. I did a walking video in Brampton, then I did a live stream, and then I did a... Yeah, well, those two things. But I did the live stream. I hopped on the GO train, came back, and I met Ken, who was live streaming at the same time, so that was pretty neat. Vizio 82 for the patio, 65-inch inside. Just reading some of the messages. Thank you, Sapand. Eunice says it's unpleasant. Hopefully it's a little better now. Nothing worse than people yapping loud on the bus or train. Didn't you live in Milton too? I lived in Milton for like a year, would-be dude, when I was like 23. I lived in Milton for like a year. Bought a house with somebody in a Mattamy development. Bonwheel says this is my bus route, the 32A/D. That's not very nice. Lunchbox XRWP. I quite like him. So for tonight, after this video, we've got one more. Jeanette says, good night, Johnny and friends. Early wake up for you tomorrow. How early is early, Jeanette? Have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a good night over in Houston. This is pretty early. Alexa, what time is it in Houston? It's 7:55 p.m., Jeanette. You have a really early night. Are you waking up at like 3 a.m.? Gertej says, any video for the premiere tomorrow? Yes, I do. It is on the East End, and it's through today's kind of light minor snowfall. 4:30 a.m. Okay, Jeanette, you're excused. Have a good night. Thanks for dropping in. Take care. March says, thanks, Johnny Strides. Got two Alexas. You got them both going. You're very welcome. Alexa, remind me to eat a hot dog every day at 4 a.m. All right, now I'm going to turn off my mic to cancel that. Where's my microphone? There it is. So now, hopefully, you guys are all being reminded at 4 a.m. to eat a hot dog. The button machine says the snow is pretty today. That's why you went out to see the deer. It was, but unfortunately, it was just like a very light snowfall, borderline just flurries the whole time that accumulated pretty well. Greg says, I just made everyone's Alexa go off. Good. Aspero says, I don't know if you talked to Mama Strides today, but we got a big snowfall overnight. Was that in like the Niagara Fort Erie area? Lewis says, why most people who make walk videos do not use GoPro attached to their chest? Wouldn't this be easier? If you attach a GoPro to your chest, you cannot control the horizontal axis. So if it's pointing just a little bit too down or a little bit too up, you're not going to be able to keep the horizon in a good space. So you're going to be seeing too much of the ground or too much up top. So, and then you don't have the ability to like point it anywhere either. Yeah, so it sounds cool, but it's actually a horrible idea to, unless you mount it. It's better if you're going to mount something, mount this, because if you move it, see how the camera head stays level? GoPro can't do that. Well, it does have horizon leveling as a software feature, but this axis, it's not going to work. It's not going to be very good. So I actually did a hands-free video with one of these, and I recorded it during the rain. So I had an umbrella in one hand, and I just had this, and it was still a little, I'm gonna say not great. I never did one again, but yeah. Chest-mounted GoPro only works if you're on like a bike or if you're stationary, and even then you still have to get that horizontal axis correct. So I'm not a fan of doing it. Naughty says, when do you hope to come to Scotland next year? Hopefully. I have no idea. Why not this year? Where would I go? Edinburgh? Did I say it right that time? Sunjib says, hey Johnny, can you make some comment? Probably not on this stream tonight, Sunjib. We're just gonna hang out and chat it up. Sometimes on these streams I like to go into my YouTube comments. Clayton says, hey Johnny, if you had 20,000 to spare, you could buy yourself a Steadicam using movies for subject camera. Yes, but a Steadicam would be ridiculous to carry that thing around and make walking videos. So I could buy a Steadicam, but I'm not going to. Action VJ says I'm my own worst critic, but Machine is thinking of getting it. Yeah, I would get. Apparently there might be a Pocket 3 coming up pretty soon, but I would get a Pocket 2 over the Pocket 1. Sorry that your GoPro has been stolen, Blind Wheels. Yeah, Lisa, there hasn't been too many juicy comments, although my TikTok is full of juicy comments, full of people defending dangerous and stupid driving. Hello, Christopher Haydock. Bashburn again says, what's the verdict on those heated gloves? Sometimes you complain they're too hot. Yeah, but that's when I turn them up too much, so that's my own fault. I think they're excellent. I'm quite happy with them. I should probably update my Amazon links to include them. That's something that I can do this weekend. I'm actually thinking of doing like a video, like the gear I use to make videos. And I'll literally just talk about all the shit that I use when I make my videos. There's an idea just to do something a little different. You feel awkward with your old GoPro and Karma gimbal, but you've gotten more confident with it. The Karma grip was pretty cool, actually. If I used a GoPro, I would still... They make a... I think it's from Inky, but there is like a very small gimbal for action cameras. I think I would use that. Lunchbox, XRWP says, fuck yeah, gear. Yeah, that is a very nice apartment building, Marge. Gimbal chest mount would be amazing. I've done that. This little camera has a gimbal built on it. I've done it. And there was a little bit too much of a hop when I'm walking. Canadabis says, are you traveling to Seoul next year? I've thought about it. I've definitely thought of going back to Seoul. I was there like 3 years ago and I made a bunch of videos, but they weren't narrated. I think it might be cool to go back and do some of the talking variety. Yeah, he did Whippy Dude. I remember that. Blind Wheels is saving up for a new action camera. Awesome. The original DJI Osmo Action, I think, is quite cheap now, and it's still really, really good. Toronto Spots, I don't know the brand, but that is not the brand. So here's me starting to get really annoyed that this damn bus is stalled in traffic, not moving anywhere. There's my old doctor's office across the street, GSH Health. Jennifer Gala is going to Seoul in August. I want to go to Tokyo. Is the audio back? Is the audio back? I have no idea why this microphone decided to mute itself, but it did. As I play with my GoPro and twist the lens off. Oops. We got the audio back. Thank you, Marie Palmer, Lisa, Marge, Gertesh. Well, Lisa just laughed. Clayton. Sorry about that. Just remember what I was talking about was very important. And don't forget anything that I just said right there. It will be the difference between you winning $1 million or not. Just reading some more of your messages. So, yeah, look at this. We have not moved at all. This is about the point where I was starting to think, you know what? I should get off the bus and make a walking video at this point. Naughty is muted again? I don't think so. I think we're good now. Anyone seen that newish TV show Tokyo Vice about the American journalist and the Yakuza? It's pretty great. It is, Lane. It is. I'm very much waiting for season 2. And the casting is fantastic as well. It's an excellent show. You should look into the Nakasendo Trail in Japan, ancient samurai route. We walked portions of it and it was beautiful. That's something I've never even heard of, so I'll have to look into that. Sorry, Canadian lady. Patrick Burns, I think it was just traffic, actually. This is life on Eglinton, right around Eglinton and Bathurst, unfortunately. Sanjay in Kingston is here. Hello, Sanjay in Kingston. Ali BHG watched the documentary about the NBA gambling ref. I watched that too, Tim Donnie. It was definitely much greater than just him, right? He was kind of a fall guy in that whole thing, but he was also an idiot at the same time. Lisa says, BRB, you gotta walk the dog. Maybe we won't be here when you get back. Yay, the bus is moving. Are we gonna make it through the intersection? Or are we gonna stop? Oh, we're going through. No, you silly bus driver. You should not have gone through. We are blocking the crosswalk. Come on, back to driving school for you. Sanjib says, what is the video tomorrow morning? After this live stream, I'm going to click the premiere button on that video and you'll be able to see that as soon as this live stream is done. Pretty much, within a few minutes, more or less. Sanjib, don't worry. I'll have that live stream or that premiere scheduled. All right, I'm gonna get off the bus very, very soon. So this was recorded Wednesday afternoon, actually. I bet the next video's a walk. Thank you, Espero. Sorry you got the late notification. Canadian Lady, $5. Thank you, Canadian Lady. Thank you for your support and the $5. I better put my GoPro back together here. Stop fidgeting with it. This is not the type of thing to have in your hands and fidget with. And I can't seem to get the... Thank you again, Canadian Lady. Do you use data service for streaming? Yes, I use a 100 gigabyte Bell plan backed up by Freedom Mobile as my second plan, which bonds to the first one. But the Freedom just does, in case the Bell connection drops below 6,000, which is the bit rate, then the Freedom will kick in and make up the slack. But I just switched from Rogers to Bell, and so far so good. Did you ever go to Juicy Dumpling south of Eglinton? I have not been there, but I've ordered from them on Uber Eats a few times. It's actually really, really good. GoPro is the new fidget spinner. The Bell Costas, we got a bellboy here. Not that I'm proud to be a bellboy, but I got a 100 gigabyte plan for a pretty good price. I've got fiber internet, like a gigabyte up and a gigabyte down for like $50 a month. So not personally not hating on Bell. I'm paying like $150 less a month with them than I was with Rogers, and I'm getting way more shit and faster connections from Bell. But that just goes to tell you, like, Rogers could have been charging me a lot less all along as well. Blind Wheel says, I'm a recent Bell Mobility customer. You left TELUS? Well, you left one evil for another, right? Yeah, he says the next time you order food, you should make the chat choose what would you eat. I've done that a few times on streams, right? I've done that on the Stumbles. I don't really order delivery so much anymore. I've just been in the habit of going and picking stuff up. Do you still go to Rudy for burgers, says Whippy Dude? I haven't had Rudy in a while, actually. But there's an idea. I need to go back. Quite happy with Matt's Burger Lab. Udodis left Freedom for Bell. I don't think I can remember or leave Freedom. It just having Subway service is awesome. Do you remember T-Shots? What about T-Shots, Gertej? I think she also did a New Year's Eve stream, if I'm not mistaken. Don't worry, Sunjib. I'll see you there. Your partner just had to explain to me that I'm not actually a bellboy and I don't work in a hotel. What is your favorite entertainment to go to in Toronto? Are you a concert goer? I used to be. I used to go to a lot of concerts. Probably stand-up comedy. I think there's just something... Yeah, probably just going to Absolute Comedy, which is like across the street from where I live. I've been there a bunch of times lately. That's probably my favorite thing. Yuck Yucks, the layout is really weird on the Yuck Yucks on Richmond, but that's also an awesome place to go for that. But live sports, I haven't done a whole lot. I saw Bill Burr, but that's comedy again at the ACC, or I guess Scotiabank Arena. But yeah, I haven't gone to movies. I haven't done anything since before the pandemic, so we're just starting to get back in the swing of things. Jill says, do you cook at all or do you get takeout? You can see my cooking skills on the Johnny Stumbles channel. I have 2 cooking videos up there and 1 smoothie preparation video, we could say. No, I'm not very good, so I do tend to take out. Frugal takeout. I make smoothies. I eat a lot of cereal, lately shredded wheat. And probably 1 meal a day is a smoothie. 1 meal a day is like a bowl of cereal, and 1 meal a day is like a takeout. That's just my diet with very little snacks. Just reading some. Thank you. Yeah, he was kicked out of your Rexall store at Empress because one of the employees think that you're a shoplifter. Were you just loitering? What were you doing to warrant getting kicked out? Oh, this is the start of the video that I posted yesterday. So we transitioned from being on the bus to turning it into a full-ass video. So that's the origin story of that video. Completely unplanned. That was a 32A. There's the 32A, which I unsuccessfully raced to Eglinton West Station. And it's gone. That's the end of the video. Canada Biss says, oh my god, those kids are finally gone. Yeah, they were extremely annoying, weren't they? All right, so you got a new smoothie blade. I did, Whippy Dude. I'm surprised people remember this stuff. I did. I ordered this one off of Walmart.ca because all the ones on Amazon were bullshit that didn't work well. Same with the ones on AliExpress, but I found one on Walmart that didn't quite match the pictures of all the AliExpress and Amazon blades for my Ninja smoothie. It's a very specific smoothie blade. It's not a very common model. That's why it's hard to get a good replacement blade. But the one from Walmart is working perfectly. So I should probably order like a second and third one even now, just so I have them as backup for when this one eventually dies. Do I have a cooking specialty? Anything that goes in the microwave? I don't know. Jelly Bean says, take the subway Eglinton to Egg West to see if it's faster. Go, wow, that's a hell of a loop. It's probably a lot more comfortable if you get a seat, but I don't think it's going to be faster. Anyways, here comes the final video. This one, I was doing my Charlie run. I had the nighttime dog. I was going to go walk a dog at night. And I was playing with camera angles. So this is me riding the e-bike. I screwed this up on my Beaches Ride video, but I got the camera angle, I think, just right on this video. I wanted the handlebars in the shot, and I wanted you to be able to see like the speed on the bottom left and the odometer and all that stuff. And for whatever reason, I just sucked at setting it back up like this when I went to film the real video, but yeah, so this is going to be a bike ride that we are watching. Let me throw myself. The button machine says it's a good angle. Yeah, I like it. I think we're going to try to dial this angle in a little bit better. You'll notice the handlebars kind of bounce around a lot, but the shot is stable. You basically have to pick one or the other. You're going to focus on the handlebars and the background's going to jump around, or you're going to do the opposite. So I think having a stable background is way more important. Alejandra, member for 8 months. Does Freedom Mobile have 5G plans or a signal? No, they are LTE only, but 5G is the most horrendously overrated thing in the world. Don't buy a phone because it says 5G. Don't get a plan because it said 5G. LTE, a good LTE signal is more than enough for anything we need to do these days. Unless you have like millimeter wave 5G and you're very close to it, in which case you will get ridiculous speeds. But it's also incredibly unreliable, and I don't even think any Canadian providers have millimeter wave 5G. But basically, yeah, 5G is bullshit. LTE is more than enough, so Freedom is fine without it. Robert Armstrong says, why do you jaywalk so much and then complain about cars? I don't jaywalk. I don't jaywalk. You're allowed to cross the street in Toronto away from the signal. That's not jaywalking. It's perfectly legal. As long as you don't impede cars. What I complain about are not cars, are drivers who make things dangerous for everyone else. They're in the 2,000-pound killing machines. They're the ones who are literally killing other people by being irresponsible asshats. 90% of people are pretty good drivers. I don't hate drivers. I don't hate cars. I just hate the assholes who don't bear that responsibility that goes with driving. And I will mock and ridicule and make fun of them. And then people will come to their defense on TikTok, which is hilarious. Like, you're literally defending human trash when you do that. So anyways, it's a touchy subject. We'll not go down that. The button machine says the jaywalking debate again. There's no debate. It's not jaywalking. And if someone does something and it's not endangering anyone else, I don't care. I don't care what the law says. If it's safe, it's safe. If it's not safe, it's not safe. That's my attitude towards that. Thoughtbroker says, ever been hit while biking? Any biking on... no, I don't think I have. I have been hit biking, actually. Some people agreeing with me over LTE. Canada Biss says, I worked at a phone kiosk for years in college. Pay for 5G if you can. You'll save money in the long run. How will you save money with 5G? The plans... I don't understand that. To me, I can't even stream on 5G. It doesn't... The way it... Yeah, it's bullshit. None of the live streamers use 5G. Johnny says, I love the video you made for that lady who parked her car at the sidewalk in Chinatown. I love the people defending her in the comments. Like, that video has so many views and just the absolute stupidest effing comments you'll ever see on TikTok. It's unbelievable. Mini Zine says you had that minor run-in with it. Oh yeah, I was clipped by a cyclist. Hey, good call on the Garrison Crossing. That did happen, actually. Yeah, so I was bumped by another cyclist. The button machine says I was referencing all the TikTokers that replied to your comment on my video. Yeah, TikTok, I don't know how they did it, but they seem to take the cesspool that is Twitter comments and brought that all over to TikTok. Like, YouTube comments are pretty good. Even Instagram aren't that bad, but TikTok is like a toxic cesspool. It's pretty funny. When you're in Holland, the cyclists and pedestrians did whatever they wanted, says Bash Brannigan. I think there's just an organized chaos to that in the Netherlands. I don't know. What they do works, and it works a hell of a lot better than what we do. Yeah, Van the Sweller, it's legal to cross the street. They don't define it as jaywalking because remember, streets are not for cars. Streets are for everybody. And originally there were no cars, and it was the automobile industry that colluded to make it illegal for pedestrians to cross the street, something they always had the right to do. So, yeah, don't give me the argument that crossing the street away from a signal is jaywalking or is dangerous. If you do it properly, it's perfectly fine, and you have a right to do it. Lunchboxes I like because you dislike the same things you dislike. Whippy Dude says well-protected bike lane. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Dennis Nguyen, changing the topic. Favorite cup of coffee in Toronto? Tough, because I tend to gravitate away from more expensive. I don't know. Like, coffee to me is like wine. I drink it. I like it. It's usually good. Like, I drink more Keurig than anything, and I'm perfectly fine with it. Chain coffee, I hate the price, but Pilot is pretty good. There's so many good not chain coffee shops. That Balzac's is really good for a chain. I'll say Balzac's. I think Balzac's is the best tasting coffee that I've probably had. Mini Zine says jet fuel Rooster. Rooster is good, but whenever I go to Rooster, I always have. I'm always in like out at Riverdale, and it's a hot day, and I get like an iced latte. I don't even know how you can compare that. Connie says homemade coffee is the best. Dennis says Moonbeam. Moonbeam, I used to buy when I lived in the St. Lawrence neighborhood, I used to go to Moonbeam and buy my beans from there, actually. Back when I had like a grinder and a drip coffee machine. So Moonbeam is pretty good. LEBHG, Second Cup is very much a Canadian chain. What I'm not a fan of is like the sort of burnt, overdone taste of Starbucks. To me, Starbucks just stands out in like a bad way compared to other coffee, but some people like it. It is what it is. I'm just not a fan of that sort of over-roasted taste that Starbucks gives. Heinzel says, check out Propeller Coffee if you haven't. Where is that? Shiva Balin says, hi Johnny and all, hello. Dennis says, Starbucks always leaves its mouth watering with a greasy lining. Canoli Queen likes Dark Horse on Spadina. My beef with that Dark Horse on Spadina is one day I was recording videos and I had to pee like nobody's business, and I went in there and I bought myself a latte and I paid like the $6 or $7 for it, and I really just had to use the bathroom, but I was like, I'll have a coffee, which will lead to me needing to go to the bathroom again soon, and it was out of service. No warning, just big sign, bathroom out of order. So ever since that moment, I have sworn off that place. I'm still quite spiteful and petty over that type of thing. So maybe the coffee's good there, but I had a bathroom that was out of order. So screw you. Pinto says Lansdowne and Blue are hidden on Wade Avenue. Neat, I'll have to check it out. John says Starbucks used to be more overburnt and heavy tasting. Mr. Hippo says Starbucks is better. Nobody can say one is better than the other. It's all preference, right? It's like debating Burger King versus McDonald's. In my opinion, one has better fries and the other has better burgers. If only we could combine them. I would still feel disgusting after eating it. Mike T has never had a cup of coffee in his life. How about tea? You do have a T in your name. There's a poll question. Do you like Starbucks coffee? Yes or no? Simple question. Yes or no? If you're somewhat in the middle, which way are you leaning to? Let's find out. Mini Zine says if someone ran for mayor on a platform that included more public bathrooms, they might take down Tory. I'm pretty sure Gil would have supported that if that was not part of his plan, but I would absolutely. That's just like a basic human right. And today when I was coming home, there was a guy, it was a packed subway car, but there was a completely empty subway car because there was someone who smelled like it smelled rancid. Like, you know what the smell is if you've ever smelled that. And if we just had more public washrooms and facilities, these things wouldn't happen nearly as much. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, we definitely have a deficit of public bathrooms. And what's disgusting is we tend to close them down in the winter, as if like people don't need to go to the bathroom in the winter. Like, I'm okay if it's a number one. I can like kind of find a place to do it, but not everyone has that luxury to do that, unfortunately. So we definitely have a deficit there. Shivbalin says Johnny likes the Move Impulse e-bike more. I do really like... I like my other bike too. I'm looking at it right now. I do like my ad motor. I like both of them quite a bit. Gordon says the washerman blower station is disgusting. It is very, very hit or miss in my opinion. At absolute best, it is tolerable. But if it's not tolerable... But more often than not, it's pretty gross, actually. Matt Bro says, are there a decent amount of washrooms in the path? Yeah, there's a very decent amount of food courts in the path. The one place in the path where you're more likely to find an open washroom is in Brookfield Place. I think they have a few restaurants that stay open much later than most other food courts. However, right across the street from there is Union Station, which has lots of public bathrooms. So it's not ideally located. You could just go to Union Station. But yeah, there are quite a bit in the path, but they do close. They're not anything close to being 24/7 or open on weekends. Cannoli Queen says in LA it's illegal for dine-in cafes and restaurants to not have functional restrooms. One of our most popular cafes got shut down for... Yeah, it's illegal here too, but I think if it's like a plumbing issue or they can just shrug and be like, sorry. Bash Brannigan says, what's the most comfortable e-bike? Probably this one that I'm on now. John says the Eaton Center has enough bathrooms if you're downtown. Do you like Starbucks coffee? 84 votes. Ooh, 46% yes, 54% no. A lot of Starbucks drinkers out there. Let's wait till this one gets to 100 votes. Brett says, I went into a Timmy's at Yonge and Bloor the other day and found a few hard needles on the sink. Yeah, that's another sad story right there. What they do in Europe, I think some places they have like pay bathrooms where you just pay like a modest fee. But what happens if you pay for it like 50 cents or whatever and you go inside and the last person just completely wrecked the place? Now you can't use the bathroom and you're out money. Robert says, are you able to do a path video? I've done a lot of path videos actually. So they're never had an issue doing a path video. I'm sure I'll go back at some point. Gordon says, how about coin-operated public bathrooms? $2 per use. Yeah, that's not that's still, like, that might be a fair middle ground between not having them at all and having them. It's still pretty classist. I wouldn't hate that as long as we had good maintenance. I don't know. I don't know the answer to life's problems. I don't claim to know the answer. But I do know we need more access to washrooms in public. We absolutely do. And we have a mayor who's doing absolutely nothing about it, which is pretty gross. Did we get to 100 votes? 97. 3 more votes. Oh, it doesn't look like the yes. It's roughly 50-50, though. It's pretty close. Anyone who says they enjoy drip coffee but also claim to dislike Starbucks are lying about one of those two facts, says Patrick. I like drip coffee, but to me Starbucks has a very distinct taste where it tastes burnt to me. Like it tastes over roasted. But you're right, it's not. I'll still drink it. I'll still enjoy it. It's not worlds different from other coffee. It's just a slightly different variation, but I definitely don't prefer it if I have the choice. Like if there's a Starbucks next to anything else, I will try the other thing. But if there's only a Starbucks, I'll cave and have it. And I won't complain about it. It'll be fine. So do you like Starbucks coffee? 43% yes, 57% no. Estelle says same with 7-Eleven coffee. Mr. Hippo used a porter potty. There's a new word for you. Portable potty? And it was bloody disgusting. Yeah, those things are not good for the olfactory senses, that's for sure. Mr. Impo is upset the majority said no. I would consider that a draw. Sample size is everything. We only had 104 votes. That's within the margin of error. I would say that's pretty much a draw. Alec HD says, too bad Tech is not here for the Starbucks talk. Action VJ says, see, that JS poll was skewed. Robert says, I like Starbucks washrooms. Starbucks espresso plus an edible. Hey, I think I'm going to have an edible after this stream. I've got my video already edited and up for tomorrow. I think that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to find a stupid movie and do that. French press with newly ground beans is the way to go, says John. Yeah, it is, but you've got a whole mess to clean up after that. Dennis, that sounds absolutely disgusting, but cool. Let's read some of your messages. Brett says, favorite movie of 2022. The last 3 years are like a blur. I don't even remember. What's the favorite? I don't know. There's a movie on Amazon. It was like an Amazon Prime movie I watched that was really, really good. I'll see if I can remember that. That would be a hell of a collab, Shiv Berlin. I don't know if we'll be able to get them all together in the same place, but we'll see. We'll see. Nespresso is pretty straightforward for a hit of caffeine, but pricey. Never really tried Nespresso before. You know what Bike Brigade is? No, I don't. So we are going east on Bloor Street East, and we're about to... I think this is Sherburne Street here. We're about to cross, and then we'll hit the Bloor Viaduct pretty soon. Randy C says Nespresso is excellent. Sapan says 279 watching and 173 likes. Yeah, these streams roughly get about half the viewers of the other streams. But they also don't involve me going around walking outside in the freezing cold holding a camera. So I'm good with that if you are. Robert says Bell is better than Rogers. Choose your evil. Is the coffee house at Bathurst and Bloor still a thing? The Green Beanery? No, I think that's turning into like a burger restaurant, if I'm not mistaken. The Green Beanery, a climate change denier run cafe. I think they also didn't have Wi-Fi. They didn't want people to just be loitering in there. Kind of an I think a lot of people just like hotspotted from their phones though, so it's like defeating the purpose of that. Joseph likes these streams. Thank you. Nadal says anything is better than Rogers. You haven't tried Johnny Strides Telecom. It's definitely not better than Rogers. Yeah, Green Beanery has been... That's prime real estate, but that place has been closed for quite a while. I think a burger place is moving in there, if I'm not mistaken. Cortez is currently watching 24. That's a really old show. I remember listening to like the Dean Blundell show in the morning when they would talk about it. Robert says Wi-Fi hawks at coffee shops equal loitering. I've done that, but I also am ordering a steady amount of stuff when I've done that with the laptop at a cafe. Like, okay, 30 minutes has gone by. I'm going to go buy a muffin. I'm going to go get another coffee. And I'm not going to be a dick and take up a giant table by myself. I'll sit at the communal table. Wally was thinking of a collab between me, Ken, and the mayor of Toronto. That would be interesting. I don't know about Ken. But I don't think me and John Tory would make for a very good walk. I don't think he would want to be in my company. Or says public Wi-Fi is unsafe. That's why you have a VPN when you need it. Oh, that's neat, Randy C. I'll have to look into that. Is that the biking lawyer behind that as well? Mark Lang, hey Johnny, I will be in Bangkok from March 24th to April 9th. I'll see. I haven't finalized my trip plans, Mark, but there's a faint chance I will be in Bangkok then too, even though I was just there. It is the greatest place on earth. Where are you staying? Sukhumvit? Curious as to what hotel you're at too. Not that I want viewers looking you up and seeing where you're staying. But I think that's one of my favorite things with going there, just finding that place to stay. Bash Brannigan, I'm sure Tori would appreciate your opinions. My opinion would be telling him to grow a pair and do something. Pom Pong with your son's family. I believe the H is silent, right? Pom Pong is how you would say that. That's neat. I don't think I've been to that area. Randy C likes masala, magic chips, and ketchup mixed. There's an interesting combo. As we have left the Bloor Viaduct, and we're now entering the Plater Estates again. That is pretty true, Gordon. So yeah, hopefully this week I can make another e-bike video with this handlebar view and actually get it right. I quite like it. Dennis wants to travel to Taipei before China annexes it. I think China's quite disappointed with how the whole Ukraine takeover has gone and probably have second thoughts about trying to... they're just going to bluster a lot. But I think Taipei is a very safe place to go, and I think probably it will remain that way for our lifetime. Hopefully. It's an awesome country. Robert says Dave Shelnut, the biking lawyer. Yeah, I reached out to him, and I asked if you want to do a collab sometime, and one of his representatives was like, that sounds great, get back to me, and I just didn't get back to him. So I think that's something I need to do at some point, maybe in the spring. Courtier is there. Neat. Do I ever ride my single speed anymore? Says Whippy Dude. The single speed needs a new chain. So no, I haven't. The last time I rode the single speed was when I fell off and bumped my head in that video that you can watch me doing that. So yeah, that was the last time I rode it. High Fiver says, hi Johnny JS, I totally love your walk around Humber Bay. Thank you so much. Thank you, High Fiver. That one was inspired by a comment by Brad Palmer. That sent me off in that direction. I did a walk along the Queensway, went down to Humber Bay, hopped on, pulled out the gimbal and did a live stream. I'm thinking next week I might live stream in the other direction during the sunset. Maybe start at like Exhibition Place or something. Yeah, Chris, I was extremely lucky to be wearing a helmet when that happened. Otherwise, I would probably have been in a vegetative state for quite a while. Hello, Robert. So we are now just entering Greektown. Johnny, what did you think of the New Year's fireworks show? Sorry, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't disappointing. I thought it was pretty good. Brad Palmer loves Humber Bay. Yeah, I like it too. I'm hoping to go back as well when it's all like frozen over and just covered in snow. I think it's just a beautiful area. Any chance of a walk in Rexdale? Probably, Randy C. I just haven't... It's so annoying to get out there transit-wise. If only we could open up that Eglinton Crosstown on time, and then I could probably just hop on a bus at like Mount Dennis or something and just be much closer. When on two wheels, the helmet is a must. 100%, Gordon. 100%. Need a live stream at Lakeshore Boulevard, says Joss. Lakeshore and where? Lakeshore is huge. Joseph says the construction is only to get worse. The butt machine used to go to Humber North. It was a pain to get there. I can imagine, yeah. We've, if we just had a rail connection to the airport by now, like a proper one, not a diesel train, that whole area would have been linked up. If Mike Harris didn't kill the Eglinton West subway line, when he did, because he's a piece of shit who sold us out, we would probably have an Eglinton East subway line by now. We wouldn't be waiting on the crosstown. And what really gets me is we had shovels in the ground for the Eglinton West line. It was all planned. It was under construction, and then we killed it. And instead we built like a little stub along Shepherd, like 5 useless stops that would be better served as a busway. yeah, we could be in so much better shape right now if it wasn't for that idiot. He also sold the 407 in the worst deal in the history of mankind. At least worst deal for the taxpayers. But hey, the butt machine says Mike Harris ruined everything. We'd also have a downtown relief line. And remember when he stepped aside and then this idiot named Ernie Eves stepped in and just continued. I don't know. We don't have a very good luck or a run of premieres, right? Because after that we had like the McGinty Wynn era. Like that was also terrible. Like, can we just get a premiere who's not terrible? Oh, it's been so long. Josh B says around Humber College Lakeshore, you think the ice rink will open up once the snow picks up. Neat. All right. I am out of videos. Matt Bross says, thanks for the beaches bike ride this week. My favorite Toronto neighborhood. And thanks for concurring that it's the beaches and not the beach. That's the official neighborhood. The city of Toronto calls it the beaches. I know the BIA calls it the beach, but the city calls it the beaches. The old ass library there says beaches right on it. It makes sense. Whippy Dude says they actually filled in the hole on Eglinton. At Yonge and Eglinton, that's neat. Robert says Bob Ray also failed badly, but Ray Days were actually kind of a good idea. I think Bob Ray was better than Mike Harris, Ernie Eves, Dalton McGinty, Kathleen Wynne, or Doug Ford and Rob Ford. As bad as that sounds, I think he was the best premier we've had in the last, 30 years? Isn't that sad? Anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks to our mods for keeping things clean. Thanks to everyone who sent support via Super Chat. It makes a big difference. And our channel members, Patreon supporters, thank you. Thanks to everyone for watching. Hit the like button or dislike on the way out. Engagement is engagement. It's all good. Mark, I hope you have an awesome trip to Thailand. I'm sure we'll be in touch since then. I saw Laura just joined in, or at least saying, yeah, you are super late to the party. We're just about to sign off. But I will premiere a video tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST. And there's a very, very slim chance I'll live stream tomorrow afternoon as well. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, guys. Yoink.